Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with Shane McGuigan. Shane, we've just seen what looked like Adam Azim's best performance to date. Would you say it as that?
Yeah, because he's stepping up to a fighter that really believes he can win, and that's what the game's about, being tested. And I think the best performances are going to come out when he's tested.
What would you say was the key to victory here? For me, just looking at the ringside, it seemed like Adam almost fought reserved within himself, and then when the opportunities came, he found those the flashy shots, which really made the dent in him, and eventually that's what got him out of there.
Well, you can't slip and throw uppercuts early on in a fight. You have to settle him down and break him down. And I think he used his feet early on to take away his lead left hook, and Lipinets was ramming that jab into the body to try and turn that left hook over. So we knew what he was going to try and the way he was going to try and approach the fight. Obviously, a guy with their head over their front foot, they're a little bit front foot heavy. They're open to the uppercut, but you got to be patient. You got to break him down. He caught him with a peach left hook when he was walking in, overreached Lipinets for a shot, had him catch count with a left hook. But then he still slowed it down, took his time, kept it long, didn't just go instantly trying to fight short. And by the time Adam sat in the pocket with him, the fight was beat out of Lipinets. And it was a very good performance, a very mature performance. Yes, there was a couple of low blows. We've got to address that, but it's part of the game, Lipinets was hard to hit to the body, and Adam kept trying to hit into the body. He should have lifted that left hook up, but it is what it is. It's part of it. Lipinets slid a couple of shots in low as well, but it's part of the game. He just got an amazing, invaluable experience there tonight with the former world champion, and I'm very impressed and happy with the performance.
You felt those deductions were fair?
Yeah, they were fair. For sure they were fair. And Steve Gray's a genuine ref. He's not going to pull no favours. You have to give warnings. He gave his warnings and he took points. And that's just the way it is. And Adam had to adjust. And I'm happy that he did so.
I did see before the first bell went that you kind of motioned to Adam to really kind of focus on those, to the body shot. You felt like that was alongside the other things you mentioned, a key to getting him out of there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a former kickboxer. They tend to stand square. And guys like that, you just got to keep jabbing them downstairs and working them downstairs, and then all of the shots come into play off that jab, whether it's upstairs or downstairs. It all fires in. So very, very happy.
What's the status on Adam Azim getting out again this year? What's the plan for him?
This year, we're in February the 1st. He's definitely going to get out this year. We'll see what card we're going to put him on, or whether he stages his own card. Sky invested in the kid, like Eddie and DAZN, they're pushing for Adam Azim and Dalton Smith because they're looking at the lad who's slightly older and he costs money. Dalton does, and that's why they didn't spend a lot on his opponent in the last fight. And I know they might say it's for the EBU type, but why didn't he fight John Fernandez? That was mandatory, and why is he now going to vacate and John Fernandez is going to box Pierce O'Leary because it was written in the contract before they started? It's like these things are all like. So when we do it, we get exposed. But when they do it, it just gets pushed under the carpet because Eddie's got a big mouth. But here's the thing: like, it costs money, and it can happen, and it can be made, but it doesn't generate crazy money right now. Maybe a little bit more now, but Adam's the one that's getting lots of views. So if it does happen, someone's gonna take their checkbook out and pay decent money for it.
The usual story with the IBO and with respect to the IBO title not recognised as one of the full titles as the other ones, but it's normally seen as a bit of a chip to kind of get into those positions. Where do you feel Adam Azim is in terms of next opponents? What level do you feel he's at right now after capturing that IBO world title?
Yeah, I just said it. I mean, it's a discredit to go any lower domestically than somebody like Dalton, Jack Catterall, or Josh Taylor. I understand Josh Taylor's at a different stage. He's potentially at a different stage of his career. He might not fancy coming to boxing and more of a prospect coming through. I understand if he wants big fights, that's just the way it is. But we've got to say he's a massive name. He's a former undisputed world champion. So, that's where domestically, if we're going to box somebody domestically, it's got to be one of those guys. I don't think we're going to step back down because everybody in the UK that's below that level is below Sergey Lipinets. So we're going backwards. We've got to continue to push this kid forward. He's just had a one-sided beatdown against Lipinets. And I think, there's a lot of former world champions, former guys that have fought for world titles around that division, and the division's booming. Do you know what I mean? So we've got options. Certainly, it's just picking the right people.
Finishing off with, and Adam made sure to mention it, his brother Hassan Azim was back in the ring. I believe Hassan isn't with you anymore, but Hassan, in terms of his return to the ring and where he can get to, of course, he's kind of, I don't want to say he's in the shadow of his brother, but obviously his brother's up higher in the ladder than he is right now. Where can Hassan get to, and what's his potential?
Yeah, he's got a lot of potential. Obviously, I've got 2 kids now, and and Hass has also spent some time out, and I think it's good for him to, there's no hard feelings there at all. I think it's good for him to find his own way, and he doesn't need to be in the same gym as Adam. It's very easy to just get put in the shadows of somebody like that. So, I think Khalil's doing a great job, and I think he needs to. He's had a bit of time out of boxing. I think he lost a little bit of love for it. So he needs to come back to the game, find the love, find the passion, and do it for him. And I believe once he does that, the world's his oyster, because he can bang. He's got good boxing ability. I always said it with Hass, Adam's going to hit championship level early on, 22, 21, 22, 23, that sort of age in terms of championship rounds. Hass just needs a little bit more experience, and he's 24 now. Give another year, maybe 2 years, maybe even a year, he'll be able to be ready to fight for domestic titles. And I think he just got to keep chipping away and just be on his own path, because it would be a shame if he doesn't fulfill his potential.
Shane, well said. Thanks for your success. Congratulations.